Okay, this is the flipped classroom video. We're going to be talking about equations that have one solution, infinitely many solutions, and no solutions. So far we've learned that equations have one solution. So in class today we did that problem with Verizon Fios and Time Warner Cable, and we set up this equation. 50 plus 150x equals 39 plus 250x. And we said that there's one value of x that makes them equal, which was true. We solved this, and we figured out that if you ordered 11 movies, then the two plans would be the same. That's what solving an equation is. You're finding a value that makes the two sides of the equation equal. So in that situation, it was 11 movies. Now let's look at some different situations. So here's an equation. 5x plus 10 equals 6x minus 20. So this is an equation that has variables on both sides of the equation. To solve this, you need to get the variables together. I suggest doing that by starting with the smaller variable, which is 5x. So we're going to do minus 5x from both sides. We're doing inverse operations. 10 equals x minus 20. Now we just need to isolate the variable, add 20 to both sides. X equals 30. One answer. X equals 30. That is the only answer that we can substitute into the equation that will make the two sides equal. Let's check that. 5 times 30 plus 10 equals 6 times 30 minus 20. I substituted the x value into the original equation. 150 plus 10 equals 180 minus 20. 160 equals 160. That works. Check. The two sides of the equation are equal. They are only equal for x equals 30. So there is one solution. This is the type of equation that you guys are already comfortable with. Now we get to an equation like this. 9x plus 7 equals 9x. So we have variables on both sides, but we can't start with the smaller one. There is no smaller one. So we still need to get them together. So we're going to use inverse operations. So I'm going to subtract 9x from the left-hand side. So those will cancel out. But remember, whatever you do to the left-hand side of the equation, you have to do to the right-hand side of the equation. And those also cancel out. So what am I left with? 7 equals 0. Well, that doesn't really make sense. 7 equals 0, we know that's not true. 7 does not equal 0. This is wrong. So what that tells me, when I'm solving an equation, and I end up with two numbers that are not equal to each other, that tells me there is no solution. So let's think about what that means. 9x plus 7 equals 9x. We are looking for a value of x that is going to make both sides of this equation equal. Well, it turns out there is none. There's no number that exists that will make the two sides of the equation equal. So when this happens, you write no solution and you circle it. Let's look at the third situation. We have 6 parentheses 6 parentheses x plus 3 equals 6x plus 18. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of these parentheses by doing the distributive property. 6x plus 18 equals 6x plus 18. Already, alarm bells should be going off in my head because something looks very familiar here. So let's get the variables on the same side. So I'm going to do minus 6x on the left side. That will cancel. Minus 6x on the right side. That will also cancel, leaving me with 18 equals 18. That's true. The number 18 does equal the number 18. So when you are solving an equation and the two sides come out exactly the same, you're left with two numbers that are the same, that means that there are infinitely many solutions. Infinitely many. Let's think about what that means. You guys know the word infinite. That means goes on forever. So if there's infinitely many solutions, that means every single number is a solution. Let's put that theory to the test by doing a check. Well, let's pick a random number. How about the number 3? I just picked it off the top of my head. So anywhere I see an x, I'm going to substitute the number 3. So on the left-hand side, I have 6 parentheses 3 plus 3 equals 6 times 3 plus 18. That becomes 6 times 6. And on the right side, that becomes 18 plus 18. 36 equals 36. Check. So x equals 3. That's one of the solutions of this. Let's try a different one. Let's try the number -1, so we can try a negative number. So 6 parentheses -1 plus 3 equals 6 times -1 plus 18. 6 parentheses 2 equals -6 plus 18. 12 equals 12. True, so x equals -1 is a solution. The truth is, you can pick any number that you can think of, and it will be a solution. So for this, you write infinitely many solutions, and you circle that. The question will ask you, how many solutions are there? So for that, you have to solve it, and then you need to write if there's one solution, if there's no solutions, or if there's infinitely many solutions. So for your homework tonight, after watching this video, you should be able to answer this question and then come to class ready to go. So here's 3 questions. The question is, how many solutions are there? You need to show all your work so I can see your steps. This is why guessing and checking will not work anymore. Because if there's no solution, you're going to be guessing and checking forever. So answer these 3 questions, show all your work, come in tomorrow ready to go. Remember, how many solutions are there?